I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality.
Hello to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you guys are tuning in from. I want to say thank you for tuning in so early already. But with heart, thank you. Showing the love. All right, gents. So, episode 3 is live. We are going to push it. We are back with Mr. Naz and Mr. Kaiju as we did for the previous 2 episodes. They will be carrying most of the conversation today. It's going to be a fun topic. It's mostly about how the gaming industry has been affected by music, and with Naz being a producer, he'll be able to assist and give us a little bit of insight into the gaming world and the music world and how the two of them work together. So let's get these guys going. Let's get them in here. Gentlemen, how's it going? Mr. Naz?
Ahoy, mate.
Mr. Kaji, welcome. Episode 3 is live. How's it going with you guys?
Going all good. It's going all good.
That's good to hear. Oh, they're good. It's I've had an interesting week so far. I went back on my stream last night and started playing. Went back for the first time in months to play a bit of Siege. As if I didn't have enough cancer in my life already. So
You smell that, Josh? I smell rage quitters.
Of course, bro. Of course, that's the smell. That's the smell of a fucking rage quitter. So in the end, it went well. It's we played about four or 5 games. Wolf was with me. Jakes was also there, so that was quite fun. Ended up with a 2.8 KD, so I'm not too disappointed. It was a fun night. And as far as I know, Naz, you have an interesting story to tell from your side. It's I think something involving Elden Ring, if I've seen the updates.
Elden Ring. It's all that there's been. It has been a marvelous journey. It has been miraculous. It has made me love and hate everything that I've ever known in my existence. Let's start off with that. It is a beautiful story about you are a tarnished who has been thrown to go save the lands between from utter chaos. So what your ultimate goal is to become the Elden Lord. Now, as we know, Elden Ring has been developed from Software made Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne. So we all know this is not easy. The quest is, and I'm saying this now because this is a strenuous journey, but I plan to plus a new game +7, which means I will
okay.
Game for basically 8 times. So that is my ultimate goal. I want max level 714. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Why is it such a weird number? 714.
I don't know, but that's when all your stats are maxed out, man. It's interesting.
Such a weird number.
But eventually, one level upgrade, like my one mate Eclipse, who's playing Elden Ring for New Game Plus, his one level is 233,000 runes. And just remember, upon death, you can drop any runes you've collected. You can go back and pick them up, but if you don't pick them up, they're gone forever. And he lost 180,000 runes, if I'm not mistaken.
Shit. That's hectic. That's fucking hectic as hell.
But it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful story. It's a really confusing story, but it is really it's a masterpiece. I really love the game so much, and yeah, every week I'll give a little bit of an update on how my journey is so far.
So just for the viewers in chat, I just want to say that Naz unfortunately skipped the hype of Elden Ring when it released. When all of us were grinding our balls off playing Elden Ring, this guy was playing Tarkov. So excuse the man for only picking up on the hype now. You only saw the beauty of the game now.
It's fine. fine. Not late than never, mate.
Rather late than ever, that's true. Mr. Kaiju, how's your
Mine's
week
gonna be a
been?
little bit later. It's been good. I've actually started up a gym membership.
Hey, let's go. Getting
Getting
that
back into
fitness,
my
getting the
fitness a
pump
bit.
up.
That's it. Hoping to improve my reactions in game a little bit, hopefully.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The moment that you get your exercise in, your reactions, your movement, everything just becomes so much fucking better.
That gets me hyped, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
That's good. That's good. Listen, you're gonna be one of the top players very, very soon. I see that. I see that.
No, thank you.
All right, gentlemen. So, for today's discussion, I know Mr. Producer here, he brought up the actual topic for tonight. So, I think it's going to be a good one. So, the main discussion is going to go mainly around the fact that how music affected the gaming industry and how games affected the music industry. So, look, the two go. It's basically the same exact topic. It's just some games has a bit more effect on some songs, and some songs are created mainly for a game. In particular, like you can take the song from Top Gun Maverick, the one that Lady Gaga sang. So that's a song that was created specifically for that. So in games, you get this a similar scenario, and mostly it changed. I'd say from early years, Linkin Park and all that was put into the games, up into the bit more recent EDM, like it's that dubstep type of vibe that's been brought into the games more. So I think let Mr. Producer start us off, and let's hear what he says.
Ooh, all eyes on me.
All eyes on you.
Right, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, for everyone watching. But yeah, so this is gonna be a two-part topic. I'll be covering half, and Mr. Kaiju will be covering the other half. So my half of this will be is how music has affected the gaming industry. Right. I want to take you guys back on a little trip down memory lane to 2004. Need for Speed Underground 2 was released.
Oh, here comes the feelings. Here comes the feelings. I feel it. I already feel it.
8 years old. Okay. And this is where I discovered my love for hip hop. Is when you open Need for Speed Underground 2, Riders on the Storm featuring Snoop Dogg is one of the first things that play. And every time I hear that song, that is goosies from head to toe. Straight up. Right. So as time progressed, you fell in love with these songs. And that is what in my opinion started a special bond for me between gaming and between music. And for a lot of people it is the same. So basically, I was listening to music that was outside of, that was in my influence circle. And then you get this particular game and it gives you a new opening to different music. There's new genres. There's something you've never heard before. I.e., a lot of the hip hop that I fell in love with is because of Need for Speed Underground 2. It is something that when it plays, your mind automatically travels to you doing 200-300 kilos on a highway, first place. You're in that moment, and every time you hear that song from there, that's the association you're going to make. And I think that's a very, very, very important key, because from there you can have, like you said, specifically produced numbers for a specifically produced game. My favorite specifically produced, not song, but music that was made is the Halo 3, the introduction screen.
Yes, that was a good one.
The orchestral, the choir, it had something to it. It just, when you listen to it, it was goosebumps. It was, and that's the same with Elden Ring for me now as well. Their theme song is like head to toe goosies. That's how it is. So that is how our music has affected. So then we can progress and we can go look at GTA San Andreas, radio that you you could choose so many options from Los Santos ever, you know, it was from hip hop to metal to country to pop to EDM to techno. And a
I
lot
think
of
that was
that,
basically one of the first games that actually introduced the multiple radio stations and the multiple genres in one system.
I think
Definitely.
I do think so too. It is the first that I recall because in the games like Need for Speed you could set your track list, but it wasn't actually a radio that you were selecting. You know, it was just default music playing. And that's what made San Andreas so beautiful, is because you could either ride your bicycle listening to Snoop or to Ice Cube and shooting guys, or you could be bumping out to old school metal or whatever your jam was. It was a little variation from just the standard set lists that were being brought into games. And that is what grabbed my attention for this topic, is because how many songs there are out there that have been used in the gaming world that I personally wouldn't have known about if I didn't specifically play that game, i.e., a song called Scavenger by Kill Radio. I didn't even know that song existed until then. I probably wouldn't have known that song existed because it is not what you will find in your current tiers of music.
And
You know, it's
and
not
I really
something.
think there's a lot of children that, well, children. I say children now, and it's not so you're not supposed to play those games while you're that young. But of course, we all did it, so we can talk out of experience. Um, I think a lot of the songs we grew up with, for instance, in San Andreas and all those big games, especially now. I mean, I was still in high school when GTA 5 released, and a lot of songs that was on GTA 5, I didn't even know existed. Some of the classics,
Yeah.
obviously, you'd know, but some of them also you wouldn't even expect anything from them. So, and there's songs that hit, they slap.
I mean, prime example now that you're bringing out GTA 5. There's a song in there by Kendrick Lamar. I can't remember the song's name. I will find it and I will tell the people. But it was on there, and I didn't know Kendrick Lamar released that song, and I was like, okay, that is cool. So automatically, with something new that's cool, what is the thing that you're doing? You're looking for something new. You're gonna listen to the next song. What is playing next? I want to hear what's the next and the next. And then you're gonna go find these songs on YouTube, and you're gonna create a playlist, or you're gonna add it to your current playlist. And then you have made that association, being a gangster thug, riding around on the chopper and just shooting bitches walking around in the street. You know, ADHD. That's the
So
song's name from Kendrick Lamar.
ADHD, then there's AB Soul.
No, it's ADHD, Kendrick Lamar and Absol. That is the song. That is the song that got me hooked on GTA 5 radio, because I didn't even know Kendrick Lamar brought that out. Same with Watch Dogs. When Watch Dogs 1 came out, there was an entire radio of music that I never expected to find in the game. I mean, when I was growing up, you didn't get the word fuck in music. Go check in the Need for Speed Underground 2 and shit like that. Up until, I'm not talking about San Andreas. That was shit on its own. You know what I mean? The rest of it was censored. And then you get to San Andreas, and it was this open. No one gave a shit what was going on. No one really cared about the language, and that created a portal, in my opinion, to release a lot of uncensored music, especially in games like that. Rate them R18 or whatever you want to do, and just upload the coolest gangster beats you can find.
Yeah, I
Upload
mean,
the
if
best
the,
metal
the
you can
moment that you put an age restriction up that and the parents allow the children to do and to listen to whatever's going on, I mean, they can't, you can't keep the children away. At some point, they're going to go to a buddy or something. His parents allows it, and that's it. That's the only thing that happens. And
Okay.
so yeah, I
But I just
definitely I agree with you the fact that I think San Andreas is one of the first games that actually introduced the open music source to the world.
Yeah. No, it was. It was something that changed a lot of it. And that's what makes this entire topic so is so fun to talk about is because every time I mention a certain song, your brain is automatically going to go to that childhood memory. If I say to you, Bullet for My Valentine, Hand of Blood, what game do you think of? Oh. Come on, Zeus, this is an easy
Yes,
one,
bro.
mate.
Fuck it.
That's
You
an
can't,
easy
you can't
one.
ask me this shit just suddenly.
What? Don't you know?
I remember the song. I just can't remember where I placed it now in the game. I honestly can't remember now. Come on,
Need for
guys.
Speed Most Wanted.
Most Wanted.
Just went, man. Ja, it's Most Wanted geweest. That was metal, my friend. That was the hardest shit I was listening to in the clip.
What was it? Most Wanted, or was it? Yeah, it was Most Wanted. It's the one with the fucking the brownish weather and all that. Yeah, it was that gritty feel. Yeah.
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 Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, that's
listening
Most
to
Wanted.
that, and
That's Most Wanted.
that got me hooked on there. But just before I digress too far, right? I have one thing to add. You know, child restriction. Just let me give you a little interesting story. Just tiny
Yeah.
backstory. I was 17 years old. I walked into music to buy Dead Space 2. Now, obviously, there's like an 18 age restriction, and this shit's never fucking happened to me in my fucking life, and it never has ever happened to me ever fucking again. So bear with me. I'm walking. I got my $100 because it was an EA Classic. Obviously, you get it for $99.
Oh yeah. I remember those specials.
Oh, you know, go to the cashier. She's like, "How old are you?" I'm like 17. Why do you care? I'm like, I can't sell you this game. I'm like, the fuck?
Yo,
What's wrong with you?
Imagine.
yeah,
So,
that's rough one, dude.
You got game blocked, bro. You got game
I
blocked.
got game blocked, man. Now you must say that I'm standing there. I'm so shocked. It's like someone just threw a flashbang in my face. Like, here, flashbang, boom. Like, what
You've been having a
you
bad
know?
day, dude.
I was having a bad fucking day, bro. So anyway, I had to walk out and go across to the CNA and just fucking buy it there for $99. I was like, fuck you guys then. I will find someone. It's like when someone doesn't want to sell you drugs. And you're like, okay, it's fine. I'll find someone who will. Like, yeah, exactly. I found it. Wasn't fun though. But
Having to walk out of your main store to walk to somewhere else just to buy a game that the other store had. Bro, listen, I would lose my shit. I would lose my shit completely.
They refuse to sell it to you, bro. No, it's great. But yeah, so I feel there's a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of songs like that that have been incorporated into games that have actually caused, I think that might have caused an influx in games. I mean, if you take when Call of Duty Ghosts was released, right, the official trailer was featuring Eminem. Yeah,
I
the official
remember
song.
that. I remember
That's
that,
one of
yeah.
the reasons why I bought it.
Exactly. You see, that's the exact reason, and that is my point. That is, you can sell ice
Games
to
through the music
Eskimos
industry.
if you play them the right song. You know, that is what gets my soul so fired up on this whole topic, is because how a single song, a single artist can either make or break record sales. It's beautiful, and as the time has progressed, more and more of this has started happening. Everywhere you go, you can look around. You've got people coming in with, i.e. Fortnite. They had an entire Travis Scott concert on Fortnite.
Listen. There's gonna be something big. Fortnite. I just have a feeling Eminem is gonna have a concert very, very soon.
Do you think to reply to the game?
I saw Eminem live. I saw him live, and nothing can take that away from me.
Listen,
Thank
fuck
you.
off. Some of us are gonna live like peasants, and we'll see him on Fortnite. But but yeah, because Fortnite changed their whole playlist. They must have that party island thing or whatever. It's a whole section where they constantly play huge artist songs in the game. Now they removed the entire playlist and they put in only Eminem's music. It's playing non-stop,
Ooh.
just his music.
Ooh.
So I have a feeling Eminem is gonna do a concert in Fortnite very, very soon. Just
And you know what's
just
the
the
thing?
same as Marshmallow. Marshmallow had the very first virtual concert. He was the first one to do a virtual concert.
I mean, I will play Fortnite just to see Eminem's concert.
Of course. Of
And
course.
again, it's. I don't like Fortnite. Okay, nothing against the game. I
But
personally
you
don't
did
like
for
it,
Eminem.
but because I do it for Eminem. Yeah, why the
Listen,
fuck
chat.
not?
Listen, chat. Let's put this down. If there is an Eminem concert on Fortnite, I myself, here Zeus, will nominate myself to stream that entire concert on this channel. I will show it to you guys for the people that can't be there if they're working or whatever be the case if you're sitting at the gym. I will stream the concert for you.
Laka. Laka.
But
And yeah,
I know I'm gonna fall a bit off the topic of the music that affects people to buying games, but this is also something that just came to my mind. If it's similar to the way that specific celebrities are introduced into games, especially in a franchise like Call of Duty. I mean, Advanced Warfare had Kevin Spacey.
Yep. That was huge.
And a
was
lot of people bought the game specifically for that.
I mean, look, Far Cry 6. They have the guy from Breaking Bad. I can't
Oh yeah,
remember his name.
yeah.
He's the main antagonist.
What game?
know?
What game was it that had Lewis Hamilton? There's one or other FPS game where Lewis Hamilton did a quick cameo. I can't remember which one it was. I honestly can't remember now, but I remember there's a game where Lewis Hamilton or Sir Lewis Hamilton had a cameo.
Well, I mean, okay, Laka. It's probably.
It's probably a fucking Call of Duty or something. But he's going to be complaining about the porpoising, so don't worry about that. Let's get back to the topic.
Right, so anyway, that is how I associate a lot of my music with a lot of the games that I play. Because if you have it, absolutely a must nominated, and this was said by my friend Ross. Doom.
Oh yeah.
Doom has a fucking intense soundtrack. That is of the best metal I have ever listened to in my life. And you know what's the best? You're going around and you're slaying shit. And it's awesome.
yeah.
It's shotgun blasting, it's chainsaw action, it's metal in your ears. And you're like,
and that honestly does hype you up while you're playing the game.
It does, and especially when you get to a boss fight, and that is what I love. That is what you call a well-produced game, because when you get into a room and you've cleared the room before the boss fight, there's a drop in tempo, and there's a drop in key, so it's either a higher or a lower, and the moment that the guitar
lower.
It's normally lower. And then the moment there's either an intense guitar or something coming up or an orchestral, and then as soon as the boss reveals himself, it's just like this full-blown heavy metal action going off in your ear, and you need to fight this motherfucker. And that is well-produced. That is really well-produced. That is taking and because they could have left music playing the entire time. They could have lowered it. They could have, but it wouldn't change the way that you feel, the ambiance, the environment that you're in. It wouldn't have changed any of that. It would only transition from you fighting a tiny little person to fighting a bigger person. But with the suspense and the changes in the keys and whatever else these motherfuckers decided to do, because it is really, really brilliant. It works, and it's something that I have found all over music. If you take 10 different songs, right, same genre, and you line them up, you can find little elements that have been put into the song that have made that song really well produced. Instead of having a split or two split second silences, there's a vocal in the background. There's a small little synth that's going off, and that is why I have fallen in love with the way that music is produced nowadays and how it used to be produced, because a lot of it is still the same concept, but because we have access to so much newer tech and so much better technology and sounds that we can all mash together, you can get a better vibrant sound. And that is where I will pot off to my friend Kaiju over here, who's going to tell you the beauty of when a game actually produces artists.
Thank you. So, to be honest, before I start my topic, I don't actually hear much music when I play games. I
Yeah,
kind of zone out
I
and get
can I can
really
agree
into
with
the
that.
game. So for me, most of the songs that I found came from the loading screens. Specifically, SmackDown versus Raw is where I got very much into
Oh yeah, they
my
normally
rock.
also had very good bangers, and most recently like we quickly mentioned last week in the previous episode, Rocket League. I know this is a bit more recent, but Rocket
Yeah.
League. I think most of us have played Rocket League anyway, and they normally have proper beats.
Mm. Yeah, no, they do. I enjoy listening to their tracks while I play. But back to my topic. When games start to create artists, it usually, for me, the first artists that I found that have been created by games was your Instalock. Your guys who did parodies of popular songs, but relating everything to the game
Oh yeah.
or to specific characters in the game. And then the next big stage of game industries, companies creating music and artists is Riot. So for a lot of their world championships, they had artists produce music for them. At some point, they switched and they created their own groups and artists
Okay.
to represent different styles of their champions that they had created. And this sort of shift is what connects their game to more of the things that their fans enjoy. So instead of just being a game, it now became almost like its own type of music genre for its fans to enjoy. And I don't know if you've seen they've also done it for Valorant.
Yeah.
Sort of coming out with music. And they don't only produce in one genre. So they managed to produce in K-pop, in metal. They do soundtracks and cinematics for champions.
I think I think I get what you're saying, especially with the fact that it depends on what the characteristics of the particular character is. Like, if let's say, who can I use now that's going to be a very easy person to pick it up? I'm going to use WWE for instance. The character which would be Rey Mysterio would be more I would say a bit more upbeat. Not full metal, but a bit more to the Spanish side. Yeah. So they characterize the music over to whatever the character itself is, and then they build on that. I mean, you have to build a lore around the specific person, and if you ever go into the lore of, let's say, Apex, for instance, Octane, which is this hyper Mexican, I think he's Mexican. If he's not, I'm sorry, Mexican, Spanish, whatever he is, he's this Mursha hype guy, and his music that's normally being played, it's always this hype, upbeat, fast beat. I'd say fucking 250 tempo almost. It's the thing that gets your heart going. And then you go over to something like, let's say, Lifeline, and Lifeline's just this. It's a fucking daisy. It's it's a slower, more.
It's like,
I'd say more towards hip hop side for her. She's the cooler, not as hot headed, and all that. So I kind of get the fact that you say that they introduce the different cinematics and all that according to what the character itself is. So they start with the character and they build around that.
I know it's beautiful to see, and it builds up this hype.
Around
the releases.
And I mean, in some games, I'm gonna use Switch's Smash Bros. For this. The moment that Smash Bros. Has this amazing way of announcing new people that's gonna join the roster. And normally, by just something in the cinematics, either it's a visual or it's a song that starts to play. And the moment that plays, everyone loses their minds completely. It's as if everything goes out of the window and the focus is there. That's it.
I mean, I watched the reaction videos for when they released. Okay, don't get me wrong. The guy with the key as a sword.
It's the guy from Kingdom Hearts. What's that guy's name? I can't remember, but I
can't remember his name. But when he released, people lost their mind.
And also, that was very close to the side of when it released. Just past the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, they announced that for Smash Bros, which was perfect in my opinion, because the hype was already there for Kingdom Hearts 3. So they just pushed that over to Smash Bros, and the sales boosted so high.
I mean, what I love about Riot and what they've done is they have built a character, they have built a cinematic, and they have led you to understand the character that you're currently playing with. But then Riot does a sneaky little twist, and they take that character and they use that character to build a world-renowned K-pop group. Now, what happened is Tencent, obviously, they bought Riot Games. So now they're the owners, and they know what the market is, you know? Yeah. And that is why it got so... People were wondering if KDA was an actual group. KDA is not a real group. Yes, it's real people, it's real singers, but it's not a real K-pop group that's together. But the K-pop group is the League of Legends characters. And that's what makes us so phenomenal, is they've built their artists. They don't need anyone else to create something for them. They do it themselves now. Everything they've done is in-house now.
They basically just use the people that uses as the voices, and they go from there.
Yeah, but they do still use their external artists. I mean, Imagine Dragons with JID. Beautiful.
Yes, bro.
Beautiful.
Listen, that was
amazing.
The song that was there, bro. They made a fucking hit and a half when they released that.
Oh yeah.
Perfect, and the timing was perfect. And I mean, that is one aspect that makes Riot such a great company, because I mean, I think it was their 2014 or 2015 Worlds. They actually had a holographic dragon flying around.
Oh yeah. I remember that. I saw the videos
of
that.
It just shows there's no lack for any beautiful aesthetic that is needed, or whatever they need to make, they make it happen, because that is the kind of company that they strive to be, and I love it. It's beautiful. Not everyone agrees with me. Everyone wants to burn Rito to the ground. Rito, unbalanced champions. Well, they make great fucking music. So
yeah. and they just prove that a brand can really encompass all. They don't have to stick to just clothes or to just a movement or a style of music. It can be a game, a TV series,
Yeah, I mean, they
music
literally
artist.
made a Netflix series from League of
Mm.
Legends.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Apex is very far behind that. To be 100% honest, I will not be surprised if they announce very soon that there's going to be an Apex Legends movie or animation series or whatever. What will
I-
be
I-
impressive is
really-
if it's going to be a live action. That
Yes!
I hope a
will
lot more
be
games
impressive.
join in it.
I hope it's live action. I really
That
hope it's
will
live
be
action.
so impressive. But now we can take it up to the point again. And sorry, Kaja, I know we're interrupting your topic now, but
No, not at all.
the new series that's coming out now for Last of Us. They are working on that. I've seen some of the stills. Bro, it's so close to the actual fucking game. It looks amazing. There's one particular still. I just can't bring it up now, but bro, this is amazing. They took a scene directly from the game where one of these what was they called? They clickers, if I'm correct, where the clicker was stuck against the wall. And look, in Last of Us, it's all these moss and mushrooms and everything growing out of the zombie freakish things, whatever it is, and
Yeah.
they implemented it into the still that they released in the live action. Bro, that thing, look, of course it's going to be CGI. Of course it's going to be CGI. But that thing looks amazing. It brings that game, the game that we've all put so many hours on PlayStation, and they incorporate it into live action where it's actually going to be worth watching. It's going to be amazing, as in full on amazing.
Yeah, and the game company can utilize your love of the game to profit off of this venture.
Oh, of course. Naughty Dog is going
Yeah.
to gain pockets full of money from that fucking series.
But I must say, it's not just that. I mean, we've got The Witcher that was done
Oh,
excellently.
yeah. Oh, but bro,
That
listen,
is
Henry Cavill can
beautiful.
make any person work. Listen, I don't care what whoever says, but he is the best Superman that's alive. No one else will ever play Superman better than Henry Cavill. That's it. Done. Klar. Finished. Don't even come and tell me. Don't at me. Fuck off. He's the best Superman.
Okay. Yeah, that is. I mean, we've got the Resident Evil movies and everything, and Dota. Look at Dota. Dota brought out a Netflix series, Dragon's Blood.
But listen,
So
didn't
it's not
Resident Evil bring out the new movie or series now recently?
No, it was a series. Oh my god, that was amazing! If you haven't watched it, please do yourself a favor.
I haven't
Go
watched
watch
it yet.
that
I haven't
now.
watched it yet.
Dude, it is
Same here.
intense. It's
Haven't watched.
just first two or three episodes, a little slow burn. It's really
Okay.
just introductory, but it's fucking epic. It's so twisty, mate. It's so fucking twisty. It's brilliant. You guys need to watch that. I'll tell you what, you guys, it's only 8 episodes, right?
Okay,
Next
okay.
week
Alright.
Thursday, when we reconvene, I want to hear your thoughts because then I can discuss it with you without actually ruining it for you.
Okay, deal. Okay,
Fair
deal.
enough.
Kaju, we have homework. We have homework to go do.
Yeah, 8 episodes can do it.
We can do it.
Like
Binge watch it.
I binged it 3 days. I was done. And I was 3 weekdays.
Nice. Yeah. So I agree with Zeus. It would be a lot nicer if a lot more games ventured out into these areas of producing their own music, producing their own series, their own movies, trying to make everything
Well-
more appealing to every aspect that their fans enjoy.
Yeah.
I'd like to chuck a hand grenade at you guys. Just a tiny little flashy.
Oh my.
Now, wouldn't
Have you
that
ever
be...
wondered? No. Let me just. I think personally, if every venture had to do this, your markets would be overly saturated, more than what it is today, because now you have independent artists trying to make a living, you have game companies who are trying to make a living, and you have game companies pushing out artists to. I think it would be overly saturated. I think like certain games, like look, League of Legends, they have KDA, they have True Damage, they have Pentakill. I mean, Pentakill is such a remarkable fucking band. I love that band. They did really, really well. And I think if every company had to do this, it would kind of kill the market, hey? Because there are so many different gaming companies all over the world. Yes, official soundtracks. Don't get me wrong. Official soundtracks that are released are beautiful. Whether it is instrumental, whether it is got vocals, whatever genre it may be, that an official soundtrack from the gaming company, that is perfect. But I don't think we should get all the gaming companies to push into different sectors.
I see what you mean, but on the flip side, the bigger the market gets, the more there'll be for us to experience, the more.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kaiju there, because I
Right?
also
It's
get
more
and
sound to
understand
develop.
what you say, and it is gonna, I won't say oversaturate the market, it's gonna expand the market though. And there's where I'll agree with Kaiju, because look, one thing that you can do with a series is, yes, I'm gonna take Apex again as a chance here to explain on what's going on with. They have the lore in the game. From the few videos and everything that they release, you find out a little bit more of who the characters are. You get a little bit of a backstory on who they are and all those kind of things, especially with the Titanfall series that was there previously. You do get a little bit of backstory on who the character actually is. But the moment that you put them into a series or a movie or something like that, you can go a lot deeper into who this specific character is. And I won't say that every game company must definitely do it, because not all games are as popular, and not all games have characters that's actually as likable. Like,
Or
I get
worlds
it.
where music can be produced in. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
look. One thing that I can take, for instance, Rainbow Six Siege. They have a thing with the SI, the Siege Invitationals. It's like the World Cup. No, not World Cup. It's more like the yearly thing where the best of the best teams all over the world come together and they play out to see who is the best region in the world.
Okay.
Just by the
So-
way, there's a YouTube video on my personal YouTube page that you can go see. There was about 10 of us doing the Olympics last year. So
Oh
if
yeah,
you care,
we're fucking
you guys
knifing the
can
people.
go watch that.
Yeah.
running Olympics, playing shit. You
Yeah,
guys can go watch
that was amazing. That was times. That
That
was so
was
fun.
That
But-
was fun.
Yeah, look, I fully agree with that. But in particular, something like that. Now, with that, they bring out a training session map, basically. Now, it's not a full training session. It's basically they take two maps, combine them together, and you get the same feel of the maps. You would recognize a lot of what's going on, but it's mixed around. Like where the one room would basically be at the bottom floor, it's now going to be in the top, or if the basement is going to be on the second floor now, or whatever. But they mix the map around. Then they give character stories involving this training session thing, basically. They swapped out, when they started with the SI, they swapped it out into two teams. And these two teams started to develop and fight against each other to see who is the best team. And now I'm waiting for next year, February, because February is again, it's going to be January, February is going to be the new SI if everything goes well. And if everything goes according to plan, it's going to release the new story again, where last we seen Ash, which is the FBI agent, and Carly, which is, I think, Nighthawk or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but the two of them went head to head. They run the two factions now. And all these people are fighting against each other, and it's becoming a series that they're basically bringing out. Every time that there's one of these big events, they do it once a year, and it's only in game.
That's exciting.
So-
Actually, that's
So it keeps bringing people back, and even people like myself. I stopped playing Siege. Yes, I said I played it now yesterday, and I think I will maybe play it again a bit, but not on a competitive level, just for fun, just to mess around a bit and all that. But I will be playing the SI event again. I have to follow the story. I want to see what develops. I want to see what happens next. So if they don't want to go out into the full Netflix series or Amazon Prime series or whatever they want to do, they can always implement something in game. And Apex does this as well. With every season release, there's a small video intro with who the new character is, but it also has small hints at who the previous characters has. There's a bit of a backstory. Like Octane and Lifeline, they were very good friends previously. Octane was in Titanfall and all that. He used to do the grenade jumps, and one grenade jump was timed incorrectly and it blew off his legs. That's why Octane has the metal legs. Now, the doctor that helped Octane is Lifeline's father. Lifeline is the one that helped develop the legs that Octane is currently using in the Apex games.
See, in my
So,
opinion,
yeah.
shit like that is awesome. Okay, I love that. It's tiny. It's how I can put it is, gaming companies should find that rhythm where a decent single player story driven game. Okay, this is not aimed at The Witcher at all, but I believe, like, imagine Elden Ring. Like The Witcher, you have a main protagonist which
Skyrim.
is Rivia. I mean, like Skyrim. You couldn't make a movie out of Skyrim, and you can't really make a movie out of Elden Ring. Yes, they're the basic.
Yeah,
story
you
not
can.
there. No, but this
Yeah,
is
you
the
can.
point I'm
Fuck
trying
off.
to make. No, the point I'm trying to make is that it is an experience more than what it is
Yeah,
a game.
they all agree.
Where I believe that if you're playing, say, Elden Ring, you're there to experience the
That is
story as a tarnished player. You couldn't convey that message quite correctly. Yes, you could. Okay, I get it. You could make a big movie about it. You could make a series about it, but it wouldn't convey that feeling, that success that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah, I
It's a
kind
struggle.
of I get what you say, because if you take
There is a line.
there is
you
a
know?
basic line that you can follow, and yes, you can
Yeah.
tell that story in a movie. So I agree with that fact, and I also agree with the fact that you say that it's going to be difficult giving that accomplishment, because myself, I have 4,000-5,000 hours on Skyrim. So I played that game up until everything. I can give you the map out of the back of my hand. It's there's so much things that I know about Skyrim, but every single time that I replay the game, I see something that I haven't seen the first time. So
And that is what they can't tell. That is
Yeah,
what they can't
yeah,
give you,
yeah.
unfortunately.
That's very, very true.
But there is room in specifically those games to explore other aspects. So they don't have to explore like the main storyline that you enjoy playing, but they could explore, for example, an event that happened in Whiterun before the game happens.
Yeah.
Or something similar.
So
in Elden Ring.
something that wasn't touched in the game itself. There was always stories
Yeah.
about it, and no one actually talked about what actually happened in that particular scene. And they can start going in with that. They can make a small series or whatever. With per episode, they take into the unspoken stories of. There's a name for the series, even the unspoken stories of Skyrim. So they go into all these stories that you always hear by the travelers that they don't fully go into with full detail. Where you'd get that traveler sitting at the side of the road, he's burned to hell. You ask him if he's okay. Oh, then he suddenly drops down there. Oh, he can't go with all this agony and what. Then he dies. But no one knows what the fuck happened there. So that's it. You don't know. Now
mean, it could
you
be
make
like
an episode and go into something like that.
It could be like Love, Death, and Robots kind of
Oh
deal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's
Just-
go.
Just
Let's
explore
go.
everything.
This is copyrighted, gents. This is our material. If anyone makes stuff like this, we know they stole it. Yeah, I'm kidding.
That-
people. I'm
They
not blaming you.
stole it. Yeah.
I know that way.
if they make money and they don't include us, pay back the money.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll go stand in front of your garden. I'll toy there with my stick. Baba, as ik geld.
Yeah, in South Africa, we are widely known for burning tires. So we got burnt tires in front of your house.
Yeah. Yeah, let that put into your mother's fucking drive. She's gonna love you afterwards. Trust us. Her righteous bridgestone is
Listen,
gonna-
no, listen. Fuck that. Fuck that. We won't even burn tires.
So it's like,
We just gooi a braai in front of their home. But
yeah, that
we
is the worst, right?
we break the windows, let all the smoke pull into the curtains.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
But it
Ja.
must be like proper wood. Wood.
Wood. Ons gaan hout
My
braai.
stick.
Hout braai.
No bribe, boy. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah, we jumped off topic. But yeah, so I kind of agree with what you say. It's I agree with what Kai just said. If games would push even further and they would go into more of a storytelling side, it can be good. It's something that can definitely be introduced, and the music that's basically in the game can be used to push over into the series, because fans of the game will go crazy if a specific song comes on and they know what the next character is going to be that's going to be introduced now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
definitely.
the fans will even get excited for a music release in a genre that they enjoy as
Oh
well.
yeah. No, look, that's why on the Spotify playlist, for instance, I know I mentioned Rocket League earlier, but Rocket League has this thing where it's EDM crazy. Listen, that I love Rocket League's music. There's been times where I've been busy at home working, doing something on my computer. Then I launch Rocket League on my second monitor. I just leave it on for the music. That's all. I don't play the game. I have hundreds of
think-
hours on Rocket League, but I haven't played the game. It's just listening to
Yeah.
music.
You know, I think, and this is something that hasn't really been touched on. Have you guys ever seen a movie with a soundtrack that just bites you in the testicles and like, yeah, okay, laka, this is it for me. Now, for me, that personal experience is a 3001 Space Odyssey. 2001 or 3001, I can't remember. But it's old school. I'm talking like 96, dude. This is old school.
Man.
But it has this vibe to it. This song, and you'll know it's a classic. Bom, bom.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yes.
And what's that normal like? You know exactly. It's from sounds that you know exactly what's going on. You would know
Exactly, and
exactly.
Yes, and that is all over. You can find stuff like that. You can find these key elements that have been put in there that have been tied into your memory.
Yeah, of
You
course.
know, like
it's
I
part
said,
of growing up.
If
Or
I say
connected to something
exactly,
else
if you say Lil Jon, Get Low. Fuck me, Need for Speed Underground 1. Yes, fucking even older. It was beautiful.
Back on the movie thing that you said on what movie would actually the soundtrack, I would actually go, and this is now my pick, the Need for Speed movie. The Need
Okay.
for Speed movie had a unique type of soundtrack to it. It's directly connected to whatever the series is, which was amazing. And that last scene, the moment that he chased away and he stopped by the lighthouse, and that slow zoom out and the song that started playing, bro, that was amazing. That was literally that the song, everything just worked so perfectly because as we know, Most Wanted, all the other Need for Speed games, it's not the heavy full beat. It's mostly these slower type of songs that actually hit. And that was
Yeah,
one
it
of those
hits in the
songs
feels.
and one of those movies that it hit every single song choice directly on the head. Directly. That movie was amazing with the soundtracks.
I mean, I can raise you, and this is specifically to this movie, not the franchise. Is Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that was beautiful, man. That was the soundtrack. It really it was the same as the Need for Speed movie. It had all the elements that were connected
But
to the
one
movie.
thing, and everyone will say this, and I know we're falling from the topic of gaming, but the movies and the games and everything, they come together. It's music overall. But bro, the moment at the end of the movie when the credits start rolling and Ja Rule starts with his song, it's always a Ja Rule song at the end of the movie. Bro, that slapped.
Okay, so yeah, the first one it ended with Ja Rule. It was intense. The second one ended with Ludacris.
Yeah.
I lost
Yeah.
my mind. You can imagine this. I fucking can't remember how old I was, but I was like in my early adolescent years. I'm running, I'm bumping fucking Ludacris. Yeah, fuck these niggas. Just like that.
And
And
the next
yeah.
moment it's on the movie.
And the next thing is on the movie, and my mother doesn't understand why I'm learning these things. So she can fucking watching it, you know. And that's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It was the
It showed you
The-
things. It opened you up to a lot more
not
in your
just
life.
not just that. It was just something that was used to create different kind of elements in the game
You know,
or in life, in movies, in anything. It's these tiny little elements, especially that is thrown. Music is the most common one because we have it everywhere. We have it on the radio. We have it on our phones. It's in malls. It's everywhere. It's always playing. And then whenever, it doesn't matter where you are, a certain song is going to play and it's going to trigger into your mind, and you're going to be like, I remember that.
And
So
the,
all
and
in
the
all, it's
moment
like,
that you heard it the first time.
and the moment you heard like what you were doing.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. All right, gents.
So what can-
I
Okay,
think
yeah.
Naz. Yeah, just look at that face. Just look at that face.
You know how because some of it is mind blowing. You know, so it's really that's why I love this topic, because it doesn't matter from what walk of life you are. You listen to a certain genre. I can find you a game and you will relate to that game and you will jam that game because it has your favorite music in it, and you reminisce with whatever thought you have with that song and in that certain what you were doing, you know, where we were. And I guess that's what makes everything so beautiful, everything so magical. It's that
I definitely agree with the fact.
relive.
You
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 can relive
remember,
your
like you say,
childhood.
you relive, you live. It's you get that old feeling of while you were busy growing up, and you get that past feeling of how you felt back then. Gents, we don't have a lot of time left. We are actually a little bit over our time already. It's like you guys said, it's going to be a full discussion just on the topic alone. So I'm glad everything went well. What would be your closing remarks on how? I'm gonna put this to Kaiju first. He is the one big on screen currently. Um, what would you suggest? I know we spoke about a few things that you would like them to push out into, but for a closing remark, what would you think games and music can work together on accompanying each other?
I think they can definitely explore more of the lore of their games.
Okay.
That's what I would like to see more of. And have that creativity burst out and explore new sounds, new types of blending, new genres, etc.
Yeah, maybe the slower normal music that they would normally have. Maybe try a bit of a upbeat hype the character up a little bit and something like that.
Yeah.
Mr. Nez, what would your closing remarks be?
Something we haven't touched on, but it is something that I have, is I'd like to see a lot more nerdcore. Nerdcore is
yeah.
a genre
About
of
games.
music
Yeah.
that I would love to see more of it focused on games, less anime, more games. I'd love to see
A
that
lot
because
of
that
anime
is
nerdcore.
that is what artists do, and they what gaming companies don't really want to pursue doing in the cinematic or the musical world. There's always those fan people, the people doing fan art, the people doing fan videos, the guys
It's always going to
creating
be
the
a parody or
nerdcore.
something.
Exactly my point. They are the bridge, and I think we should expand that.
If
I
I
think
can
we
just
should-
just quickly jump back to the old topic of especially now a while back when Minecraft parodies was a big thing.
Oh, yes.
You know, fucking not it wasn't
Of
Tayo
Gangnam
Cruz's
Style had a
oh
parody.
yeah, it wasn't Tayo Cruz's Dynamite. It was TNT. Bro, that song
Yeah.
slapped. I had that thing on repeat in my room. That thing slapped. But like you said,
Yeah,
it's Gangnam
I-
Style. It's all the big hits that had these parodies. And if nerdcore took over and big companies would actually invest into something like that,
Yeah.
bro, that would be amazing.
That I think that is the bridge that we would need with music and gaming, is those specific artists who can just all come together and just explore all genres. Make nerdcore not just the hip hop or the trap side, but let's go metal. Let's
It-
go.
There is metal nerdcore.
No,
out
I
there.
know, but it's just an example.
Very little. Yeah.
Just
Very
push
little.
just push a bit further into that scene and
You know, just
Try and
find
push it up.
find the different people. You know, that's what I would like to
Yeah.
see.
Expand into their fans' interests.
Exactly.
Well, gents, I want to thank you for tonight. It was definitely a fun topic listening to the two of you, and I know I've chipped in here and there and brought up a few other topics, and we got off topic a little bit now and then. But it all goes down to the love of the music, and especially how the music influences everything. It's like we said now, if companies would go more into the side of nerdcore and they would implement more on the lore and the backstory, the lore, the way that the character is implemented, if they push that out into the songs and all that, I think that would really bring a lot of attention specifically to the games itself. So,
Definitely.
gentlemen, I want to thank you. It's been a great episode. Like I said, it was fun
It
listening
has.
to the two of you with all the music. Mr. Naz, Mr. Kaiju, I thank you. And chat, thank you for being here. Thank you for the people that was constantly tuned in. I see we have a constant viewership there, so I'm very glad for that. We will be
Thank
seeing
you.
you guys next week again. It's going to be a brand new discussion all over, and it will be the last discussion that we will actually be doing by the three of us. After that, we will be getting guests in from episode 5, so stay tuned for that. I think that would definitely be interesting, hearing what other people also think about the topics that we're talking about. So it's going to be fun listening to the people all over. It's going to be people all over the gaming industry. Doesn't matter if they come from whatever background or however it works. South African gaming designers that have gaming companies. There's a lot of interesting people to speak to. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Same time, same place.
Cheers, people.
Counting the days until you're gone, waiting for us to carry on. Oh, I'm running, what am I running from? Time's going by, but where's the time going? I tried to give you everything, you took it all and took it for granted. If you're still falling out of love,